Hi everyone, Wayne and Gerri Hillman here. You know folks, we want to take you on a little bit of a tour of our lives. And I was sitting here thinking, golly, it's been 26 years this year. And boy, Gerri, I'll tell you, it's been something else. I wonder if you wouldn't mind starting out and just share with these good folks how this all began.
Sure, I'd love to do that. There's probably a number of you in the audience today that haven't had the opportunity to hear about how Life Force got its beginnings. So we thought we'd take just a little bit of time and go over that for you. And I have to go back to 1961 when we were first married. And that's when we developed a common dream. And that dream was to find something along our pathway in life together that would enable us to make a difference and to leave the world a little bit better place. So we developed that dream, and at that time, Wayne was, when we first got married, Wayne was working as a surgical technician at a local hospital. And during his time there, he came across some interesting information on sea vegetation, and it really intrigued him. And I remember him spending a lot of time reading about it and doing a little bit of research. And I know in the back of his mind that he felt that sometime he would really like to get more involved in that topic. But we were newlyweds and just starting out life together, and life is busy. And we were blessed with 3 children along the way, and that topic just kind of got pushed aside for a while. And things went along pretty normally, I would say, until I reached my mid-30s. And then I started experiencing some health challenges, and that was something new to me because up until that time I had lived a relatively healthy life. But all of a sudden my energy level just sunk. It just went way down. 2 o'clock in the afternoon was pretty much the end of my day. And I developed severe headaches, and I just didn't feel good at all. And every day became a challenge, and it was hard to deal with raising a family and doing everything that needed to be done. Well, naturally, I went to a doctor to see if they could find something to help me. And after a lot of different treatments and looking into things and trying different things, nothing seemed to work. And I started thinking that, maybe my life wasn't going to be as I once envisioned it to be. And as Wayne saw me slipping, something came full circle to him. And he remembered about the sea vegetation that he had read about and all the nutritional value and everything that he had learned. And he wondered if possibly somewhere in there was an answer for me. So he got together with a gentleman and that did product formulation, and together they came up with what we know today as Body Balance. And I started taking that product, and at first I really didn't have a lot of hope in it because I had tried so many things and nothing seemed to work, and I wondered, why should this work? But they had put a lot of work into putting that product together, so I knew I had to give it a fair shot. So I started taking that product faithfully every day, and I want to say maybe 2 weeks or so into taking it, I woke up one morning and I realized my headaches were gone. And I wondered if it might have something to do with this product that I was taking, but I was a little bit afraid to believe that because I was afraid that the headaches would come back and everything would slip back down again and I'd just go through some more disappointment. So I quietly kept taking the product and listening to my body. And from that point on, every day just got a little better. My energy level came back, the headaches never did come back. And I started feeling really good, and I got very excited about it. And I guess in the back of my mind I thought, I wonder if this might be the answer to that dream that we shared so many years ago, that one about making a difference. So we sat down at a kitchen table one evening, and we thought, how can we make this product available to others? And our first thought was to get it into the hands of doctors. And they could share it with their patients, and I was sure a lot of people would start feeling a lot better. So we formed a company that we called Dr. Signature. And of course, at that time, we didn't have the means to go out and manufacture and bottle product and do all that. So Wayne took it upon himself to get together with a company that did that work. And he set it up that any orders that we might receive, we would call over to them and they would fulfill them and ship them out from their facility. So he took care of that end of it. And he wasn't able to put a whole lot of time into it in those early days because he had his own profession going. He worked in the automobile industry and financing, working through banking and setting up the financing for automobiles. And we did have a daughter, and she still lived at home, and she was attending a local college here in San Diego. And she knew how excited we were about it, and she had her own inner excitement about it. And so Marjorie, our daughter, decided to join forces with me, and we would set out and see what we could do about getting this product out. So we made a little office out of half of our garage, and we ran a separate phone line out there, and on the desk with that phone was a telephone and a Rolodex file. And we started making flyers and little brochures, and we thought we'd take them and get them into the hands of doctors. So we do that, and Wayne would join in when he could, and we'd travel around going to hospitals and medical centers and just placing our flyers and information out, hoping to attract the attention of people that were health-minded and looking for answers to health challenges of their own. And we started getting a few calls about wanting more information and wanting to try the product and all that. But, you know, I have to say it was very, very difficult in the beginning. It was hard to talk to a doctor about a health supplement. And there was a lot of rejection, a whole lot of closed doors, and a lot of discouraging days. And I remember so vividly standing in that little garage office one day and thinking to myself, you know, maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe this is too hard. And maybe we should just take that dream of ours and put it on a shelf and go about with our life. But you know, there were a few things that prevented us from doing that. First of all, we believed in Body Balance. We knew what it had done for me, and we knew that it could help others. We believed in what we were doing, and we believed in our dream. So we chose not to give up that day. We chose to forge ahead and fight all the rejection and just go forward. And probably a good couple months after that day, Wayne and I happened to be out distributing our brochures, as we always did, and we came to a building marked the San Diego Clinic of Preventive Medicine. And we pulled in the parking lot and walked in the door. And we went up to the receptionist and asked if there may be someone that we could speak to about a product that we had. Well, she got up, and a few minutes later, a gentleman opened the door and extended his hand and introduced himself as Dr. William Seckerman. Why don't you tell a little bit about Bill?
That was kind of a neat day, really.
Yeah, it was.
I just thinking back on that, Gully, when I started out this conversation, Gerri, I said, where did 26 years ago? And Gully, I really don't know. It's been amazing. But that was really the turning point of our company doctor's signature at the time. I think when we first talked to him, he probably seen we were a little bit discouraged.
Yeah.
But I can remember when we gave him the products, and a few months later he called up, and he always referred to Gerri and I as his kids.
Yeah.
And he called up and he says, I think you kids have something here. He said, I would like to talk to you. And we went back to his office, and he said, you know, I've given it to a lot of my patients, even to their little children. And he says, I really think you guys got something here. In fact, I know you do. And, you know, we didn't know when we first met him. He had done work with Linus Pauling.
Yes, he did.
On vitamin C. I mean, what a background. This guy was not only an MD, a medical doctor, but his background is extensive. He actually, folks, graduated from Loma Linda Medical College here in California, and that is kind of where they taught their young physicians alternative health. And Bill got to a point that he started the Clinic of Preventative Medicine here in San Diego. And what a shot in the arm that was. I think we both have to really admit that was probably the lowest point of our time. Wow, I mean, all of the people that he knew, and he said to us, he said, you know, what you kids need, if you remember this, Gerri, is a chairman of your medical advisory board. Well, I mean, golly. We couldn't afford that. And I said, well, you know, doctor, that'd be wonderful. But he says, no. He said, you know, this isn't going to cost you a thing. He says, I believe so much in what you have going. And he says, I don't want you to give up on your dreams. He says, I'm your new medical advisory board doctor.
Yeah, he did.
Seems like yesterday that Bill said that. He
Yeah, it does.
passed away last year, and I miss him. I miss him dearly. But you know, that was the shot in the arm that we needed. And you know what? From time to time, we all do. But here we are again. I use the word 26, going into our 26th year. And each and every person that came along in our pathway, from all of you folks sitting in the audience today, and all of the people all over the world. You know, now today we're in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Canada, and we'll be expanding into other countries in the future. It really relates back to this, I think, Gerri. You know, it's not just wasn't you and I, that everybody sitting in this audience today and all of the folks all over have become an extension of our own arms.
That's true.
And they're sharing this wonderful opportunity and this health thing with all of their friends and the people they love. I think it's kind of neat. And maybe do you have a few more words to say?
You know, I do. You know, our experience with Bill Sackerman taught me something very important. And it taught me the fact that it only takes one day to meet the one person that can open all kinds of doors for you. And you know, I have to go back to when I stood in that garage office feeling so discouraged and coming so close to quitting. It would have been so easy to quit. And I think about that, and it's very profound to me because, you know, if we had decided to quit that day because we were discouraged, Life Force wouldn't be here today. You know, the lives of literally thousands of people would be different today, and we would have given up on our dream. So it's just so important to have something within yourselves that will bring you through those discouraging days. And remember, again, it only takes one day to meet one person that will open doors just as Bill opened them for us. And, you know, it's just exciting to know that being involved in a business such as this, you can reach out and touch the lives of literally thousands of people. And you know something? Most of the people you'll never even know. And yet it will be because of you that their lives have changed, both health-wise and financially. It's an incredible win-win situation. So I can only say to you, my words of advice, if you ever let anyone or anything cause you to give up on your dream, to put your dream on a shelf, then you'll never know what you might have had or how many lives you might have touched. So just keep that in mind, and when you have a day that you might get a little bit down or discouraged, I hope you remember that what Wayne and I talked about, and I hope it'll help you over the bumps in your road. So I just want to thank you for being at the meeting today. And we look forward to seeing you in person real soon. And we just send our love to all of you.
And thank you. And I'd like to close by not only saying that, Gerri, about these folks. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you in person, whether it's at another one of these meetings or at our convention coming up in August. I hope we'll all be there. As Gerri likes to put it, our family reunion. And I would like to leave you with this word. What we do for each other is so awfully important. And it goes back to when Gerri and I got married 49 years ago. As a young couple, we sat and said, what could we do to leave this place a little better? Well, I think God has blessed our lives tremendously. And I'd like to say in closing, God bless each and every one of you until we meet again. Goodbye all.